So, after rebuilding the bike motor and rerouting the cable, because it was shorter, up the bracket, I also found the other side of that bracket in two pieces. So I put a wet towel down there and I welded it up with my titanium welder. And I also replaced the inverter after buying a used one, thinking the used one was fouled out or something wrong with the board. However, it was okay. It turned out that the battery had just gotten old. It's about 4 years old. I paid $250 for the case and the battery back then when lithium-ion batteries were fairly new. But this time I bought an elongated battery. I don't know if you can see it through here. I had to cut the back off the case, but it still fit in my little aluminum cube by moving it forward. And then I rewired it to the old box, even though it only had an out and then a charging, which you see the charging port there from the 48 volt charger. It's all the way full charge now. I also added a speedometer, but for the life of me, I can't figure out how to get it to go miles per hour. Then I also installed new shifters, and this is a roll throttle with the LED telling you how much power you got in your battery, and it's got a switch. And over here you can see the brake and the shifter. This is the 3-speed and that's the 7-speed. And then I ran into a problem with the front tire. The front tire originally actually spun and broke off the nipple the first time. And what it was, I was trying to figure out how many bearings I needed for the axle. There were some missing. So then when I took it apart, there was 3 missing. I ordered different sizes of ball bearings from Amazon. I think it was like 10 bucks. And I replaced those 3 bearings. Then I got a bad inner tube that split down the seam when I got out on the road, and it was time to come back from a 6.4. The seam split and the tire barely held air just to get home. I stopped at a gas station, but there was no air pump. Also, the problem I had was that I had to sit way back on the seat over the battery with almost with my knees in the saddle to put all the weight over the bike so the air wouldn't run out. But I made it back like 2.5 miles with the tube with maybe 4 to 5 pounds pressure in it. And the first time I thought I was going to die. I was going up a hill and the whole tire spun and popped all at once. This was a slow leak, but it leaked in the seam where the rubber's put together. And the reason I know it leaked in the seam is that it left the sealant right along the seam when I pulled the tube out. So beware of the Walmart tubes. That may happen to you, I don't know. But this time I got it fixed. There's new bearings in there, or the right number of bearings. I greased it and lubed it. Then I super tightened up the 2 lock nuts on either side. And now it's riding like a dream. It's not making any noise. Before it was making noise because of the lack of ball bearings. But you can get that pack, like I said, off of Amazon in case you need to get more bearings. They got a whole kit. And $10, I mean, is it worth your life? I think so. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope this video explained to you what can go wrong. Once again, rebuilt the bike wheel, replaced the inverter, and it still did the same thing. It would dog out before I'd get home because it just didn't have enough power in those batteries anymore. And then I bought the pack for $74.14, modified the box. It was a total of $89 shipped with tax. Had to wait a month and 2 weeks. But it's well worth it because now the bike runs like it did when I first set it up. And Motors, the motor's running perfect since I rewired it. All the Hall effect sensors tested out okay. The brakes are readjusted, and the adjustment on the shifters are perfect. I had to buy the new shifters because of the fact that, and the new brake handles, because of the fact that I went with a roll throttle body instead of a thumb one. I'd come back from a ride and my thumb would just be aching, but with the roll your wrist thing, you can control it better, and it doesn't put pressure on your thumb to make it feel like it's falling off. Anyway, thanks for listening to my rant, and also how I repaired my e-bike that I built myself from a Walmart bike. And have a nice day.